In the distant reaches of the universe, far, far away from planet Earth, an uninhabited spiral galaxy turns, unseen by living eyes. This all changes when a ship flies nearby. Many of Earth's greatest heroes find themselves on board the vessel, with no memory or
Wrong! Do you think that's what really happened? You think you know the real Secret Wars? Are you ready to deal with the true story? Well, too bad. I'm busy.
On board the mysterious ship, the heroes introduce one another. Wade Wilson proudly declares himself the merc with the mouth, but nobody seems to recognize it, mostly because nobody has created this character yet. The others note that the heroes are on this vessel, while Professor Xavier discovers that another ship is filled with villains. Deadpool makes it very clear that he is with the other heroes and is therefore noble and just like the rest of them. Well, except for Magneto. He's different, and that's bad. Everyone watches as the universe around them is wiped away, and Battleworld is formed before them. The Beyonder announces the Secret Wars, and Deadpool eagerly accepts the premise of a deathmatch. This disturbs the other heroes, and Wade wonders how Wolverine handles hanging around these goody two-shoes all the time. The heroes arrive on Battleworld, and Magneto throws a temper tantrum before leaving the group. The rest of the heroes decide to make Captain America their leader. This annoys Wolverine, but that's probably just because he's a lecherous Canadian.
Ugh, Canada. An awful place of communist mouth breeders.
Not long after this, Deadpool found himself in the midst of the first battle between the heroes and villains. In combat against the Absorbing Man, the villain manages to absorb Deadpool's skin. He finds himself all, well, cancer-y. Hopefully he got some of Wade's healing factor, or else this is going to end in a pretty sad way for the villain. Deadpool then sees Kang the Conqueror attempting to shoot at Captain America while he is distracted. So Wade intervenes. The two men do battle, and it's pretty awesome. Kang teleports away from Wade's sword strike and puts a gun at the mercenary's head. So Deadpool kicks him straight in the balls, and Kang is down. Wilson drags the villain to the other defeated enemies, advising Kang to wear a cup under those tights next time, while Storm sets out to find a defensible structure. Oh, what the hell's he doing here? Why are we suddenly covering the Contest of Champions? Bonus round, f*** this! Later, Deadpool finds himself in the meeting with other X-Men. As they agree to set out as their own team, Spider-Man's presence is detected. He flees to tell the others, so Deadpool runs to intervene. After all, snitches get stitches. Deadpool finds Spider-Man in a room full of strange shields that depict scenes of the heroes' lives throughout time. The two find themselves in a solid match against one another until Spidey webs Deadpool's hands and flings him into the shields and swings away. Defeated, Deadpool takes one of the shields as a consolation prize. When he rejoins the X-Men, Xavier manages to erase Spider-Man's memory of their earlier encounter. Charles detects that Deadpool's shield has some sort of telepathic field around it, and it seems to respond to the thoughts of those around him. The X-Men leave, while Deadpool offers to stay behind and keep an eye on the Avengers. Even more later, this happened. And if you think being confined with a bunch of people in a dark, small space is bad, try doing it with Deadpool. Mr. Fantastic takes Wade's shield to engineer a way out of the mountain. So Wade goes to talk to the Hulk. He asks if he doesn't mind if Deadpool gets in his personal space. And then he wonders if those purple pants pinch in all the right places. Then he asks about Hulk's body odor. Then he laments about the loss over something he cares about, the shield, and assumes that the Hulk can't relate to this. He assumes that Banner has been handed everything in life on a silver platter. Strength, fame, and the love of millions. Better yet, the Hulk is too dumb to know any better even if he did lose anything. This inane, endless chatter drives the Hulk into such a rage that he creates a massive hole in the mountain. The heroes are free, but at the devastating cost of Deadpool's shield. The heroes find themselves in a village, where Wade encounters Zaji. She-Hulk explains the woman's healing abilities. The villager takes Deadpool by the hand, and he suddenly feels much better. She tries to take off his mask, and Deadpool warns her that it is not a good idea. However, Wilson is shocked to discover that his mustache has been restored to its full glory. Oh, and his face and stuff is all better too. Wade embraces Zaji, much to the ire of the Human Torch. But Deadpool fails to notice that his damaged shield is picking up on the burgeoning feelings Deadpool has for this woman, and the future it predicts for them. The two begin some romantic stuff, but there's no time for such things. The heroes are off to rescue She-Hulk from the villains, so Wade wants to give them a hand. Deadpool finds himself face to face with Thunderball at the villain base, and the Wrecking Crew member proves a formidable match thanks to his unbreakable Asgardian enhanced skin. As the villain grabs Wade, the mercenary has one question for his attacker. Does Thunderball's powers protect his insides? As Deadpool unloads a clip into the villain's mouth, he gets his answer. Victorious, the heroes begin to explore the villain's base. Wade finds a mysterious machine, which gives him a brand new costume. It's all slimy, but Wilson quickly realizes that it tests well with audiences, and even changes with every thought he has. As he tries out various versions of the costume, Wade's wedgie senses begin tingling. He can sense the living thing inside of his head, feeding off his own thoughts. And it's just not fair to expose a sentient life form to Deadpool's madness, so he takes the costume off. Hopefully, communicating with Wade's psyche didn't affect this thing. I mean, Wilson could have driven this strange alien insane. Oh hey look, it's Spider-Man! Next, Wade helps out in the battle against Galactus, but his presence hardly matters here because it's Galactus and f*** you. Not long after this, he and the others found Dr. Doom, after the villain stole the Beyonder's powers. Deadpool feels like he can relate to Doom's restored appearance, although Victor is unmoved about sharing this trait with the mercenary. Later, Wasp and Deadpool sleep together.
Wait, what?
Then Dr. Doom fucking murders everybody! Wade is badly injured by this, but survives thanks to his healing factor. He has a run-in with the lizard, and together, they manage to find Zaji. While the lizard leaves, refusing to see Wasp in such an exploded state, he and Zaji are able to rescue the other heroes, but at a terrible cost. The healer is drained of life, leaving Wade and Colossus devastated at this news. Wade's appearance was returned to normal because of this, which deeply disturbs Janet. He explains to Wasp that he slept with her out of jealousy over the relationship between Colossus and Zaji, and decides that he deserves to look like a monster. That's how he acted, and that's who he is. Wade joins the heroes in the final stand against Doom, and he's nearly destroyed by Ultron. However, Wasp manages to save Wilson's life and defeat the android. Wade is impressed, but Janet recoils at his still gruesome appearance. Deadpool says this is what set Wasp apart from Zaji. The healer saw Wilson for what he was, and never even flinched at it, while the heroine can barely even look at the man. Wade follows Captain America into Deadpool's tower, where he helps Steve against the unstoppable powers of Victor. When Deadpool sees Claw unleashing the remnants of the Beyonder, he protects Cap by diving in the way of Claw's attack. As a result, Deadpool finds himself face to face with the Beyonder. Wade marvels at the foundations of reality he sees all around him. Life really is just one big comic, isn't it? Wilson frees the Beyonder, and the cosmic being is able to gain his powers back from Dr. Doom. The day is saved, and the war is over. Mr. Fantastic is able to find a way for everyone to get back home, and that's the story of the Secret Wars. As Deadpool finishes explaining this to a hot dog vendor, he mentions that the end of the event on Battleworld left that planet soaked in residual, wish-fulfilling energy. Wade believes that Wasp wished to forget about Deadpool after everything that happened between them, and this extended to everyone, so nobody remembers him participating during an event that happened when his character didn't exist yet. The vendor asks what Deadpool wished for, and Wilson says that he saved a life. His wish was to revive Zaji and send her far, far away, where she could live in peace and happiness, away from any secret wars or superheroes. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is the complete story of Deadpool's Secret Wars. Well, that was different, but it was a good amount of fun. I wasn't really sure what to expect out of this. I was a little worried it was just going to be a weird retelling of Secret Wars where Deadpool is the most important aspect of this story and blah 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 blah. And the humor around Wade Wilson is all too often done with a sense of LOL, it's Deadpool, look how random he is, LOL, random, LOL. And at a certain point, all that humor gets sickening. But I found this comic genuinely funny. There was a lot of great jokes, and the comic is self-aware enough not to take things too seriously, and instead we just get to roll with some pretty fun times. It knows where to be funny and to be serious, and uses a good mix of both. I like the action in this comic too. All the fight scenes are so well done, and each of them are really well drawn and thought out. I really can't get enough of these battles. They're all short, but so memorable and amazing that I'm really impressed by them. The modern art and clever choreography makes them more enjoyable than even the original fight scenes in the first Secret Wars, which is pretty impressive all told. And it's really nice to see some of the original panels recreated with modern art. Some of these are so cool, and it's neat to see the original scenes recreated with our modern technology and sensibilities. Here and there they managed to add a little bit to the original Secret Wars story without turning the whole thing into a circus. All told, it's a pretty fun and very impressive comic. It works, and it works well. There's not much more to say. I recommend you check this one out for yourself if you're a fan of Deadpool. It's a nice change of pace too from all this 2015 Secret Wars stuff. Although I will say this comic probably makes no sense whatsoever if you haven't read the original Secret Wars or seen our video summarizing that story. Plug. The way the actual comic tells this story jumps around a lot more than this video in terms of chronology. That's cool, but if you don't know the first Secret Wars, you're bound to get a little lost in this story. Scenes are skipped, things are not fully explained or fleshed out, and you're very clearly supposed to know exactly what happened way back then to fully appreciate what they're doing now. That's fine, that's okay in a story like this, but like I said, you really need to be familiar with what's going on in the original Secret Wars to understand this one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.